Hey everybody, my name's Ro from Team TUX, and today I'm going to give you my 5 big tips of how to get yourself ranked up to Diamond and maybe getting yourself to Master for beginners. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about if you are stuck at silver and maybe a 4 or 5 gold. There's me 5 tips how to maybe implement these into your game style to try and push you up further, getting into platinum, getting into diamond. I am Ro from Team TUX. I hit master last week. I hit it within 150 games, which was my goal to do. So I'm really happy that I managed to hit master within 50 games. But at the same time, I'd only done that by sticking to the rules that we played with and having a half decent team. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about maybe if you have to run a one man later on in the video. So the first tip we're going to talk about, it is the main thing you need to think about when you are moving and when you first roll in, is circle damage. Okay, the blue zone in a normal game of PUBG won't do that much damage until you start hitting really round phase 4. When you hit phase 4, then it starts to chunk away your health. In ranked mode, it is probably over double the power from the very start. So if you are out of the circle at any point and you are in that blue zone, you are going to be damaged straight away. So you should always keep that in mind, that the blue will rip you to shreds if you do not get yourself in that circle. Number 2. This one is your land and drop rotations and how you should move. What I think you should do in my tips is, what you're in the loot in a ranked game is upped a lot. So you don't have to go super hot all the time to get full ammo, armor, guns. You can go to smaller compounds which are more controllable to move about. So if you've got a confident 4-man team, you can hit places, say Erangel, you can hit places like School, you can hit Rozhok, you can hit Pubg if you feel. I feel like sometimes you're going to get contested there. You do not want to die early. So if you hit compounds which are sort of around the outside of Rozhok, and maybe split 2 on 2. So if you've got a 4-man team, you can split 2 men at one compound, 2 at the next. You should be able to get plenty of loot. You should make your rotations into the circle, if you are out of the circle, very quickly. So the first thing you should be doing when you're falling down out of the sky, you should be looking to see if you've got vehicles. I like to land at compounds which have got garages, and because 9 out of 10 times you are going to have a car or a bike there to move yourself into the circle. So you can move into the circle as fast as you can. If you are already in the circle, you may want to move quickly more into the center of the circle, because it's very easy to get yourself rotated out of the circle very fast. If you stay at the north end or the south end of a circle, it can jump very quickly. And in rank, people take compounds, which means if you are pushing into the circle, you need to push a compound, you're going to have to fight for it. If you get there first, you can defend it. Hint and tip 3, and this goes on to that, compound control and size of compound. If you're very confident players, you can run about like it's a normal PUBG game, but you are going to get third-partied, more than likely get third-partied very quickly, and it's very hard to not lose a player. The main point of ranked is its individual ranking system. So if you lose one man, that means that man has now got no rank at all. He has finished 50th or 60th, and really you want to try and get your whole team to the end to get the most rank and the highest rank possible. The compound control is you can get into the circle, like I said in hint 2, you get into the circle and rotate into the circle very quickly. You can take control of a compound and hold it. If you're a beginner player, you don't want to hold compounds which are too big, because you can get pushed very quickly by a more confident team who can come in from two directions, circle round you, and maybe push you from both sides, leaving that very, very hard for you to control. The easier thing to do is to hold smaller compounds with cars, have your cars hidden so they can't have the wheels taken out, and then what you should do is you can hold that compound. If you need to move, you can dart away and move it from the compound, but that's easier to hold. You want to be able to see with all four players all around the compound and be able to back each other up around the compound. So I should be able to look left or right and near enough see where my teammate is looking. So if he calls people are coming that way, you can get there within a second. A good team will push you super fast and they will be on you in 1 second out of the car and shooting. If you hold bigger compounds, now also your team gets split up, which means if you get a man down, it's a lot harder for you to kill the person who's put him down and then get your res on your friend without him getting thirsted straight away. 4, and we get this question a lot in the chat. How do we know when the best times to push from compound to compound and when to push fights? The first thing, we'll talk on when to push compounds. Like I said in my last two, you really want to get into the circle and get into a compound as fast as possible. If you're in a compound nicely in the circle, you then get pushed out of the circle, you want to try and get in as fast as possible. So as soon as that moves, you want to go. If you waste 15 seconds, 20 seconds getting in cars, talking about where to go, then you need to be, you are going to get someone else going to take your compound. Use your waypoints. Put in where you think you might go. The waypoint is LB, and then you can put in where you think your waypoints are going to be on the map, where you think you need to push to if you need to, so the whole team knows where you're going to go and when you're going to go. You can even send what we call a point man, so someone on a bike or in a car, preferably on a bike because they can get away, to push the compound you're looking for. So say you're looking for a compound south of Pubg, you send one man off first. He goes off, he looks at the compound. If there's people there, he can dart off without getting shot, hopefully if it's on a bike. Then you know that that compound isn't available. Then you can push to a different compound. If you all push there at one time, you may lose people, and as you may have to fight a fight you don't really want to fight when you're out of position. And ranked is all about holding position and being controlled in your rotations of the circles. So this is a hard one, pushing fights. Third part in fights is a lot easier, because if you hear fights now start and you know you've got probably 20 seconds to get to that fight before that fight either ends or you get seen at the same time. So you can maybe push a fight and be ready to shoot them when they're not really looking at you. If you wait for too long not to push it and decide not to, then one person goes first and then the other three are behind, then that first person is vulnerable, and when you come up as a three maybe behind him, the other teams are going to know you are on your way, so they're going to be ready for you to come. What you should have really is have one point man, or one what we call fragger. He is the man who's always in the fights first. He's always in the person who pushes first. He has the call. If he pushes and he says, I am pushing, you all push at the same time. But this is about listening and control and working as a team together to push the fights as a 4. You push a fight as a 4, you can take up a much bigger space, a much larger area, put bullets and put fire in from all different angles, putting people down a lot quicker and getting them finishes. Because ranked, as soon as you put someone down, your teammate should be thirsting them out straight away to get that assist and to get them out of the game, get them teams worn down. 5. Okay, final circle control. These ranked games, the final circle is hard work. You can have a final circle with 35 people in it. So yes, It is a little bit about luck of where you are positioned in the circle to where the circle moves to. But the best tips I can give you about control of the final circle is always carrying smoke grenades. So you should have, I would think, between a team of 4, you should have 10 smoke grenades. So at least 3, probably 2 to 3 each. So you can smoke out a massive area. Always use your cover and try and always get the compound that is last in the circle. So say there's 4 teams left in the final circle, or one of the final circles, say phase 7, and there's 1 compound left, and you're in the open. The best move for you is to fight for that compound, because if you know you're going to be left in the open and you've got cars, you should be keeping your cars to the very end. Never get rid of your cars. You should be taking that fight on, because you can either whimper out and die in a field and maybe get 21st place, or you can push that compound and you can take control, and that is how you are going to get that win. You have to know, you have to be brave and push them compounds at the right time when you feel. So if people are, a good way to do it is if you see them shooting at somebody else, then you hear them shooting away from your direction, is push the compound, because you're going to get 1, maybe 2 of that team out of position, okay? And then if one person of theirs goes down, they might decide to try and res that person, which cuts their team down to 2 people. And then when they've got 2 people, they've got 2 against 4. So if you push them, and you have to be aggressive, you can't get to the compound and then sit behind a wall. You need to be aggressive and push in your 2s, because that's the way we do it in TUX. Is we always split into 2s, okay? So if we're pushing a compound, we will split into 2. Normally, Natcha and Nuga will go one way, me and Dean will go another way, because you're always working together. You always have a chance of 2-on-1s, and you're not splitting up. And you've got a good chance of, if someone of your team gets knocked, you will knock them. So you always get a chance of resing your friend and taking the compound at the same time. Oh, I had a little 6 in for you. There's a little 6 I want to put in there, actually. A little 6. Placement is key. In ranked mode, placement is one of the most, or more, probably the most important thing when in lower ranks. So when you're in a silver, or you're in gold, even in platinum, you need to be getting that top 10 individual finish. You can get 5 kills and finish 21st and still get very low points, maybe a 3 points or a 4 or 4 or 5 points. Whereas you can finish with 3 kills and finish in 2nd place and get 25 points in the lower ranks. When you push up through the ranks, obviously you get less points. You need more and more kills to get more points. They're worth less. But position in the leaderboard of that game is the most important thing for points. So if you're running a 1-man, I had a lot of people say, well, I ain't got a team, I only run 1 man. Then you're going to have to play in a very different way. You need to basically, unless you're a very confident player, but if you are stuck around the silver and gold, I would think that you were not a massively confident player, but probably could fight, you could hold your own. So you need to basically be hiding when you can. If you see a team of 4 coming anywhere near you, you need to be hiding and letting them go. Don't take any shots, don't take them on. If you see 2 teams having a fight in the open and you can get them shots in, boom, take it, take the shot. Try and get that knock, try and get that extra point, but you are looking to get to the end. A really good way of doing it is to go into a 4-man random team, but don't always think to yourself, I'm playing this as a 1-man squad, okay? Don't go out of your way to make silly decisions for somebody else who makes a bad decision. If you see one of your random teammates go off randomly on their own to fight a team, don't follow them. Be smart about it. You don't want to finish 45th with 2 kills. You need to finish high. If you can get down to 6th place because you've stuck into the circle, you're going to be getting them 25 points. And that's what you need to do. One good thing that I think we're good at is getting high placements. We have quite a good average placement. It's because we knew from the very start that placement meant a lot, so we make sure that we get into a high placement, and you will see that you will get a lot more kills at the end because there's a lot of people still alive. So in the final circle, there could be 35 people alive, and you could take 3 or 4 of them very easily. And if you get 3 or 4 kills, maybe 5 or 6 kills, and finish second or third, you're going to get an awful lot of points for that. So that is my 5-6 tips on, if you are silver or a gold, how to add these into your gameplay to try and push yourself a little bit harder to get into that, to make your gameplay maybe a little bit better in ranked, and using that maybe in normal PUBG as well, but also to push that rank up, get into them high golds, get into them platinums, and getting a bit more confident in the ranked mode. Right, I'm now going to go. I am TUXRow. You can find me on Twitch. I stream mostly evening, sometimes during the day. I'll be playing some ranked games with the big guys tomorrow and during this week. It's Father's Day today, so happy Father's Day to all the dads out there like myself. I hope you had a lovely day. I hope you all have a lovely week. I will see you all later. Check out my next video. My link to Twitch is in the description. I will see you live. Bye now.